hope you're having a great day again. So this is my second video for today, and this is dedicated to Ripple XRP, right? The question to ask is, will XRP be the global bridge currency of the future? And this is what the picture represents if it is, yeah? Now, so this started by a Twitter user called Santiago Velez, right? He actually asked, and he made the thesis basically. He believed that the XRP ledger, which means the XRP digital currency, will be the dominant bridge currency in the world. And he stand by this thesis until new information and technology presents itself. Now, but first he started off by saying what he doesn't see XRP will become. He thinks that he doesn't see government banks using this as a currency in itself, but it will be just the interconnector. It will be the intermediary through which, right, all this, he see what happened. He see a world in the future where governments, central banks or companies, corporates will have their own coins, right? And then, but the problem is, because of this, they will need a connector. They will need something to, a common denominator to make sure that all these different coins can talk to one another, right? It's kind of like you can think of it like reserve currency kind of thing, right? So it's just like a USD world, but maybe not so much like that in today's world. But it's just a future world where you need a connector. You need something in the middle that says is a unifier to actually, denotes an exchange rate between different units, but all against this XRP dominant bridge currency. Is that how he sees it? Now, I don't completely disagree with him, and I think it is a very brilliant and quite an original thesis, right? Because honestly, no one has actually come out to say that before. And what he painted may not be so outrageous, because that, yes, I mean, at the same time, we do see a world where central banks or even large companies now itself, they have already talked about building their own coins, right? So like JPM, they have their own coins. Nike has filed a patent. Very likely they're going to issue their own cryptocurrency looking at the patent wordings narrative, right? They can have crypto kicks. Now, similarly, Facebook's also planning something big, right? And who knows who else, right? Samsung as well is another one. So again, all these companies and central banks, there are central banks already saying that they're going to have their own. There's of course one theory, right, where this is correct, where he is correct, where a world will actually let people use their own coins, where Starbucks as well have their own coins, and then you will definitely need a bridge currency to actually interconnect between them, right? Because otherwise it's just be too confusing. Though there will be another world also where there are some people, especially the Bitcoin maximalists, right, who believe that they will be just one reserve currency equivalent. That means everyone will use just one unified currency because it's just too complicated, right? And while you have all these companies and central banks trying to issue their own private coins for now, eventually, just like the internet, right? Intranet internet will continue to exist side by side, but eventually it is the internet, which is the public coin, right, which will eventually win out. Now, the question then is, will XRP be this internet to unify everyone? Or is going to be another coin? I mean, I don't really know, right? But based on maybe current technology and current use cases and current speed, XRP may be the best contender, right? Because they are able to settle in seconds, and most importantly, that they have a lot of partnerships already. They have a working product that's functional to date, right? And not only that, they are the company that have secured the most partnership, right, in terms of banks, in terms of also intermediary to transfer money, right? And this itself is, especially one big company, one big financial group in Japan, SBI, is a true supporter, right? Here it says, just yesterday news, that they already made 3 million just few months into launching 2018 just by profit. And why is that? And this is focusing largely on Ripple and XRP, because they have a large sister company and ecosystem companies under them, which everyone is using this, right? And so a lot of group synergies there. And they also have a cost-free remittance service called MoneyTap, which again is leveraging the Ripple's X current technology. And again, there they basically continue to strengthen the usage, continue to drive adoption. And they are looking at future 10,000 partners in mind, yeah? So, And this is a very large Japanese company, and them coming out to say something like that, you can just be bet your dollar that very likely that they already have some plans or some initial ideas on how they're gonna do this. But that's the future. But to date, right, even in Q1 2019 itself, that they already added 13 new partners. This is on top already over 200 customers that Ripple is able to partner with globally. And this is all the financial companies that you're talking about, right? So yes, and so also they continue to be listed on more and more exchange. So now back to this thesis of whether it is a global dominant bridge currency, that means connect it all to unify all the kind of different payments out there. Is it possible? Yes, I do see it is possible, but there's also another world where I do see again, right, that perhaps there's just one reserve currency that will win out in the future, where while all these JPM coins and Facebook coin and Samsung coin equivalent, right, or Nike coin, kind of they will still play a role, but there will be a very limited role versus the one global currency, which we still don't know yet what it is today. Of course, the Bitcoin maximalists think it might be, they want it to be Bitcoin, right? But simply because of the longest history and the most security it has, right? But there are also concerns about it as well. So we don't know yet which one will win out eventually, or will we be a few of them winning out, right? Who knows? But then definitely this XRP being a bridge currency, while other coins remaining quite high in dominance, is very, very interesting thesis, right? And again, this is just how, so what do you do as an investor then? I think that's more the question. What do you do as an investor, given you know all this and there are different theses and possibilities that might play out in the future? For one, I think, as in myself, it's not a financial advice. I think one, probably if you are into crypto, that means if you believe in the overall potential of crypto, and if you are investing already, then how do you allocate your money, right? If you have only $1,000, how do you allocate this across the coins? Do you just park everything in XRP, or do you actually diversify? My view is that, not financial advice, but if I have $1,000 now, I will park it in the few top coins, right? Namely, I will definitely have some hedge in Bitcoin, simply because it is the longest surviving ones, right? And there are already a lot of major exchanges that if they list any coins, they will always have Bitcoin and Ethereum. So Ethereum, the other one, the value prop is really because of it being decentralized platform. It's like a global computer, and yes, although they are not really so fast into their execution, but there are many top brains working on Ethereum, and them being a professional decentralized platform that have attracted a lot of popularity and adoption, especially among the institution and the more professional investors. So those two coins, definitely. And XRP, definitely as well. So these three coins, right, I will park maybe the top, maybe 40% or 50% of my holdings. The rest, right, probably something like a Binance coin, it's probably what I will look at, right? Because I think that they're definitely very, very innovative, and they do look into the future a lot. Like so many companies now want to jump into the crypto centralized exchange offerings, like E-Trade is the latest rumored to come in, right? And Coinbase also expanding itself via the crypto exchange expand. But Binance is going big into decentralized exchange. So I do see them continuing to disrupt themselves, and I do see them playing a big part in growing the crypto industry overall as well. Companies like this that really think of how do you deliver value to others, right? And they're able to also partner with a lot of, demonstrating use cases, just like XRP and Ripple, a lot of use cases demonstrated, a lot of partnerships on board. These are the companies where I see really a lot of potential in the future, right? So these are the top few coins I was going to highlight, right? And of course, there are other stable coins as well that you might want to consider, but this is just so I will just stop here, right? Basically, I'm more for diversification, right? Because who knows? No one really knows what will happen in the future. But regardless, if you have some stakes now, right, the future seems bright. If there will be really this bridge currency in the future, can you imagine the kind of value in the future? And we're talking about now a lot of the institutions' money, big money, are not yet even in crypto. Yeah. So with that, this is not financial advice. We're going to leave you with that thought, right? Let me know what you think. Which possibility will win out? Or maybe you can think of more possibilities of the crypto industry, right? So yes, if you like this, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time.